Welcome to the Agility in Real Life podcast, Take 5 in Real Life. Now your hosts, Mike Studeman, Jeff Lee, and Pat Campbell.
Welcome back to Take 5 IRL, Take 5 in Real Life. I'm Mike Studeman, one of the partners at Agility IRL and your host for this episode. I'm pleased to welcome back Ben Floyd. Ben's a fellow CST who has some experience and expertise in artificial intelligence. Ben, thanks for coming back on.
Thanks for having me back, Mike. Sure, I'm glad to be here.
So we've been talking over our last few episodes about artificial intelligence, and I thought that we'd round out our review of the Scrum accountabilities and talk a little about Scrum Master and AI today. So Ben, how can AI help our Scrum Masters, the Scrum Masters in our audience?
Boy, this is a perfect certification for Scrum Masters because I used to be a Scrum Master. And I used to find myself falling into the same traps over and over. I would run the same type of retrospectives.
Sure.
I might approach my product owner in a certain way all the time. When you learn how to use AI and you learn how to use not just one platform, but a few different platforms, and you really know how to talk with it, it will help a Scrum Master tremendously with generating new ideas for retrospectives. I used to fall in the trap of running the same type of one retrospective. And you don't want to fall into those traps. You're always looking to see how the team can improve. And AI will help generate a whole list of ideas for you. But you have to, as a Scrum Master, you know your team. AI doesn't know your team. You know the strong personalities, the quiet personalities. So
Sure.
you will see from that list what's a good retro for this team? What would I like to try? And then you also know how to build upon it, the AI, and say, this is where I'm trying to get to. These are my challenges. Let's talk about that some more. And it really empowers a Scrum Master to have almost like a personal coach
Oh,
of
that's great.
a Scrum Master.
So what I hear you saying is AI is going to help us be more creative as Scrum Masters, which I think is key. We all, as you said, we fall back into those patterns, particularly in retrospectives, which I think Mike Cohen, a fellow certified Scrum trainer, talks about how retrospectives are the event where agility kind of is embodied within a process. You don't want to be falling back into routine there. I like your comment too about remembering you know your team, the tool doesn't know your team, and being able to pick off the list and say, yeah, that technique will work for us or that technique won't work for us. Talk a little bit more about how AI can help with those coaching conversations in terms of helping out, Scrum Masters helping their product owners, Scrum Masters helping their developers.
Yeah. Another great way to approach AI is maybe your product owner is having difficulty with stakeholders or scope creep. Again, you know your product owner. It's a very important relationship between Scrum Master and product owner. And your job is to coach them and maybe help teach them a few things. You know their personality. AI will generate some ideas for you on
Sure.
how to handle scope creep or how to have difficult conversations, not the full crucial conversation course, but
Right.
how to have difficulties and teach those to your product owner. Say, I keep seeing the scope creep. What if we had a conversation like this with XYZ from the C level? And it will AI will definitely help you coach and come up with creative ideas for your product owner and even things as user story refinement or estimation, more areas to come up with different ideas to approach the same thing we do every 2 weeks.
Awesome. Awesome. So if I was a Scrum Master and I wanted to kind of get started, you give me just a couple of tips to get started.
First and foremost, sign up for this class.
That's the
Definitely.
foundations of AI course that Ben's going to be teaching for us. So sign up for the class. But beyond
Right.
that, what are some ways to get started?
Yeah, it gives you that foundation. Is you've got to set the tone and the expectation with AI. So you have to say, I need it to be in a professional setting. I want it to be fun but serious mode to it. You're telling AI the tone that you want for retrospectives, or the conversation, the difficult conversation that you need to have. And I would avoid using personal data, personal information, never
Sure.
give away your company's secrets, but you can just talk about things in generalities, and AI will, if you start by setting the tone and what you're trying to accomplish, you're already going to be miles ahead of anyone else using AI. So start with those two things as your prompts.
Awesome advice as always, Ben. I appreciate you joining us and look forward to having you on future episodes as we continue to explore this very, very timely topic of artificial intelligence.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
Have a great day, everyone. Join us again on a future episode of Take 5 IRL.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Take 5 IRL podcast. If you like it, please go ahead and share it with someone, as well as like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. We are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Also, leave us a comment or a suggestion for a future episode. Again, thanks for listening, and we look forward to you joining us next time on the Take 5 IRL podcast.